that's how we discovered that he had a mince fetish.
Fair enough.
Hello and welcome to the Phil Shy podcast. I'm Peter Bell, and with me the nicest man in comedy, Paddy Linton.
Hello.
There's only one place to start this week.
I know, the Man U game was amazing.
You're just doing constant drive-bys and Man U games in this podcast. I mean, they fucking deserve it. But no, obviously, it's City versus Chelsea.
Amazing.
It's an incredible football match, and I don't know what was stranger about it. The fact that Chelsea scored 4 goals or the fact that City conceded 4 goals. Because they're both bizarre.
It just looked like there was going to be hundreds of goals in that game, like one of the games where it's just wide open.
It's so strange to see that from a City team as well, because they're like usually so composed at the back and like they just pass it around, but they looked stressed out for the majority.
Because Chelsea came on to them, like nobody does that to them, so that like
because they're too worried about leaving space at the back. There's a lot of runners from Chelsea, like Caicedo and Gallagher from the midfield, just constantly had to go at them. So
there's a still where there's like Walker's got the ball and at his corner flag, and there's like 5 Chelsea players run him. Like that's how high up they're pressing in numbers and like winning it back. It's
quite weird because all the teams that have done well against City this season have taken entirely different approaches on how to do it. It's really bizarre, like because the Arsenal one was completely different to that, and then Wolves beat them, didn't they?
Yep.
And that was very different. That was just sort of counter-attacking play. This again in Chelsea, obviously they didn't win, but no one saw that result coming.
Must have felt that win for them.
100%, although Poch was raging at the end of it. The referee still was lemons, I think.
Just chucking lemons everywhere. If came as a lemon, he would like this shot.
He would, yeah. Should bring his luck. The first goal, we need to talk about the penalty.
Yep.
What's your thoughts? Was it a penalty?
No.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that critical analysis there, Barry. Well, my view on it is they're both holding each other at the start.
Haaland starts to foul.
Yeah.
Haaland fouls him first. So like if you're going back with VAR, we talk about it every week, but if you're going back with VAR, surely they should look at the fact that Haaland starts pulling him to get the other side of him. And then he has to pull him because he's got the other side of him. So
I mean, my view on it is if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'd be raging about it being given against me. But if I'm a City fan, I'm shouting for that every day of the week. It's one that whatever decision was given, I don't think they were going to overturn it. Because I just don't think it would be a clear and obvious mistake in their minds. Yeah. And I do think it's a soft one. I probably wouldn't have given it if I was a referee, but I can see why it was given.
But like,
I'd probably be more raging about having it given against me than I would be if it wasn't given for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think it was a penalty. But Haaland puts it away very, very comfortably.
As he does.
16th goal in all competitions this season. It's fucking November.
It's mental, mate.
It's mind-blowing. And obviously it wasn't his only goal of the game, but we'll get on to that other one.
Like his goals to game ratio is over 1. City. And like just for comparison, I know Aguero played loads more games, but Aguero's was like 0.65.
And he's one of the best strikers in Premier League history.
Yeah, he's the best striker City have ever had.
I mean,
and he's outscoring them all.
It's not just like when he's at City. When you look at his overall Champions League record, he's got more goals in games he's played. And some of them, he was at Salzburg.
And that Dortmund team wasn't amazing.
It was him, Sancho, and was Bellingham. Yeah, Bellingham would have been there for a bit when he was there. So like they had basically 3 top players. Although Marco Reus would probably been unfair on him. What else did I want to say before we get on to some of the later stuff? So Ederson pulled out a great save from James's free kick. Yeah, actually made quite a few saves in this. Like as much as he conceded 4 goals, he's still put in a good performance, which is bizarre to say.
I think just one of the goals he could have slightly
possibly. I mean, saving the free kick didn't make any real difference because they conceded from the free kick, the corner directly after it. And this I thought was like criminal. To who's letting Thiago Silva
just run
free in the box. It's just one of arguably the greatest centre back of his generation, one of the best centre backs of all time. Should we keep an eye on him at the corner? Nah, let's just fucking.
To be fair, he is 60.
I know, but that's why he shouldn't be able to run away from me. It's fucking embarrassing. It was a great header though. He got it absolutely spot on, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for him. I quite liked AC Milan for a while, and there's just the way he defends, the way he plays football. I always really liked it.
Did you have him in a Football Manager team?
FIFA.
He's a FIFA legend.
Aye. But yeah, it was suicidal to leave him at the back, and it's just the kind of thing that Pep would be raging about, because it's a basic job. Just stay with your man at a corner, and they didn't do it at all. That was kind of the story of this game, is atrocious defending.
Aye.
Because for the what was the Chelsea second goal again?
Sterling,
yeah. So they play the pass through. City player gets it and then just gets bundled off of the ball.
Yeah,
it's good play from James to close him down, and it's great positioning from Sterling in the middle. But it's not like City in that position to not just pass their way out of that problem.
Aye.
They just looked stressed and panicked.
I know. Apparently the pitch was a bit heavy as well, so that probably when they suited the.
And Poch is growing lemons in it. That's what it is.
He said they're just flooding the pitch before the game. Lemon juice.
They didn't need to flood the pitch, man. It was pissing it down. But yeah, again, good play from Sterling in the right position. But like, they looked proper rattled at the back. And for the next 5-10 minutes after that goal, Chelsea could kind of sense it, and they just went for them.
Yep.
And they were creating chances. And then obviously City just go up the other end, give the ball to Bernardo Silva, who whips in an unbelievable cross.
Such a simple goal though, man.
It is, but at the same time, you've got to give the credit to, one, the accuracy of the ball, and then it's another very good header from Akanji.
Yeah.
But not really the best marking either. Again,
just like a free header.
It was, yeah. It's that's the thing, because the header, the way he catches it and the way it goes into the net, it looks really nice. So you go, that's a great goal, and then you sit and think about it for a second and go, why is no one
even jumping with him or like near him?
It was, again, just atrocious defending. That's very much the theme of this football match. Why have we got Jackson? Oh yeah, so they settled down after they got the goal, City, a little bit. But then, I mean, Jackson's goal, what was it? It was a shot, the keeper saves it, and then the entire defence are just stationary.
Just watching it,
and he runs in and gets it and scores a goal.
To be fair, you wouldn't be expecting Ederson to put it into that area. Like, you'd expect him to push it away.
I think with the power of the shot and
just keeping
the rain, like, because it will skid off and you don't know where it's going to go and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think he can be blamed for that. I think really the defence should be aware that this ball might bounce off, especially when you're that good a defender. It's probably the worst I've seen Ruben Diaz play, like, ever, because usually he's switched on to that kind of stuff, and he just wasn't at all in this game.
I seen Chelsea fans on X, formerly Twitter, like buzzing about Jackson's like goal record, like, because it's like he's got like 5 goals this season, but like you've got to remember that 3 of them are tap-ins against 9 men.
But I mean, I'm not surprised they're doing that, and sometimes all it takes is a run of tap-ins to get you started, and that's going to carry you on. You'll get confidence from that and you get better.
As soon as Nkunku's fit, he's gone.
Yeah, although Nkunku isn't a striker.
I know, but he can play anywhere.
Yeah, he can. Yeah. Or in midfield, really. He's a phenomenal player. But I mean, he got injured as soon as he moved there, so it was quite unfortunate for him. Oh yeah, that's another good way to talk about. Haaland scoring with his plum sack. That was... Yeah,
man. That's just like ripping the cunt.
He's such an innovator.
He's scoring these balls just for a laugh.
Oh mate, see when they said they were reviewing that goal because it hit off his hand, he was in front of the ball, it was behind him and it was going across the line. See if they'd ruled that out.
Oh, it would have been disgusting.
I would love to have seen Pep's interview after that.
Well, Arteta just get charged.
I know, I saw that. I think he knew that was coming, which is why he said, why are you not asking me about the referees today in that game? But yeah, no, if that had got ruled out, the rant I would have gone on in this, Jesus Christ. You saw it last week for some dodgy refereing decisions, but that would have been unforgivable, really. So I'm glad they came to their senses and gave the goal, as strange a goal as it was. Cole Palmer.
Yep.
We've talked about him a couple of times on this, saying that he looks like a really good player.
He does.
Bloody hell. Like, he was really, really good in that game again.
How much did Chelsea pay for him?
I think 40 million.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot, but when you think they sold Havertz for 60 million to some gullible fucks, they've basically got Cole Palmer and 20 million
for
Havertz. Obviously didn't go to City, but like, I'd take that deal probably.
Aye, fair enough.
He just looks incredible. He's got such an array of like good attributes. Yeah, because he can pass really well. He went on that mazy run and Ederson pulled out a fantastic save to stop him scoring. And then obviously he's cool and calm enough to take penalties. He just looks like he's got so much to his game. And he's only 20 years old as well.
Somebody check if he's got a Scottish granny.
I think, unfortunately, England might
cap him.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, obviously, City have an abundance of talent in that position. Really, like, they've got a whole host of players that can play in there. But when you think that De Bruyne is not getting any younger, and although Chelsea aren't a rival now,
yeah,
they will be very soon because it's Chelsea.
Because they're going to spend another 14 billion.
Exactly. And he's 20-year-old. He could be there for the next 10 years, and they've just given him to them. It just seems like it could bite them in the arse. I mean, it did in this game.
I think City will be fine. They'll find.
Oh, they'll be fine. But I know for a fact there's going to be other big games when they're actually in direct competition for a trophy or a title, and Cole Palmer's going to score or do something now, and it will actually bite them in the arse. Although Pep's kind of weird, don't probably like that. So,
you saying Pep's kinky?
Would you be surprised if?
Oh, aye, mate.
He wears turtlenecks. No one wears turtlenecks into normal shit. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
I already spoke about Gallagher and Caicedo and just constantly running. I think that's part of what kind of worked for Chelsea, because they didn't play like a top level team. They did.
Because I know.
It's a backhanded compliment. But you get what I mean? Like, they just relied on everyone just running their hearts out, like kind of like Luton did against Liverpool, and it worked for them. And obviously when you've got players like Raheem Sterling and Cole Palmer, you've got that level of quality. I think you also saw how important Reece James is for them, and by having him back and fit, it's a big difference for them, because the dip and whoever else they play right back's just nowhere near the same level.
It's a shame his ankles are made of fucking tracing paper.
I know.
He's always injured, man.
I mean, him and Kieran Tierney would make an excellent always injured fullback partnership. Yeah, I do think Chelsea fans overrate him, but he's clearly a very, very good player. And obviously we spoke about Cole Palmer, but the balls in the boy at 20 years old against his former employers to take that penalty at the end, that was incredible. And what a penalty it was as well against Ederson. And I'm a big fan of his, and it really annoys me that he plays for Chelsea because I don't like them. What did annoy me about this game was after it, the English media talking about, like, oh, this is classic Barclays. This is why the Premier League's the best in the world. Only in the Premier League, and it's as if no other league has 4-4 draws in them.
Yeah,
it's it was a really good game, guys. but come on, it's not unique to you.
Where does it rank in the all-time classics?
That's a good question, because I was thinking about some of the all-time classics, and in those, the difference is the quality of football was really, really good. In this, like, there was some good moments, but it was also just a lot of really pish defending. But it was enjoyable.
And, like, can you have a draw as an all-time classic?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, you want a winner.
Aye, that's true. There are like, so obviously the ones that spring to mind automatically would be Liverpool 4, Arsenal 4, when Arshavin scored 4 goals, which is the best thing he ever did in an Arsenal shirt. Yeah, he had that one like quite good season, and then just the rest of the time was bang average. And I think each time Arsenal went behind in that game, and then he would just do something ludicrous. His 4th goal was incredible. Yeah. But the other one, which you're going to enjoy a lot more than me,
it was the Newcastle 4,
Arsenal 4. Arsenal were 4 up at half-time, wasn't it? And I remember watching that game just going, am I awake? This can't possibly happen.
I remember watching the highlights of it, and you could see Newcastle fans leaving at 4-0, and I'm like, stay, you're going to miss it.
Right, Tiote, what a hit that was. Rest in peace, big man.
Rest in peace. Liverpool 4, Newcastle 3 for like the 90s.
Yeah.
John Barnes.
What footballer he was.
Showing my age there. I was in my mid-30s when this.
That was a good game, to be fair. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Some of the classics that I remember are like 2-1s though, like Arsenal Man U, when like there was that big stramash between Keown and Van Nistelrooy in games like that.
Stramash, like when Keown kicked the shit out of Van Nistelrooy after he missed a penalty.
Look, people can be misunderstood.
He gave him like a WWE clothesline.
But that's why it's so funny now. You hear him on TalkSport talking about player welfare. It was like, you didn't give a shit about that when you were playing.
When you're snapping guns.
You think about that back four that existed for a while where it was like Winterburn, Keown, Dixon and Adams. It's like, no wonder people didn't score against them. They're fucking terrified to go near them.
Absolutely.
Patrick Vieira in front of them as well. Jesus Christ. I know it was a brilliant game, but I mean, like, taking it, it's preferable to have a win. If you compare that to like in fact, no, that did end up in a draw the World Cup final. It was penalties that they won on, wasn't it, Argentina?
Yep.
I mean, that was a much better game of football, the World Cup final.
Aye,
but then again, it was the World Cup final, not just a random Premier League game on a Sunday. But no, very good, but it's not unique to your Premier League, so shut up. Right, well, we got to move on to this one because this is one we both predicted, and we have video evidence of the last podcast that we did actually predict this would happen. I know this might not, I've not sent you my notes, so you don't know what I'm doing this in.
What order you doing it in?
But I'm going to be a wee peek behind the curtain here, guys. I finished writing my notes less than an hour ago, so I'm going to go Wolves Spurs.
Yep.
Yeah, so we did say last week that we weren't sure if this setback, because they're missing so many players, Spurs wouldn't be able to bounce back this week, and it turned out to be that. You know, obviously they were ahead from the majority of the game, but they didn't look anywhere. Nah. They didn't deserve to be ahead at all in this match.
Like Wolves battered them. It could have been 4 or 5.
100%.
Like they missed hundreds of chances.
But you do have to mention, because Spurs fans will complain if we don't, they obviously were missing Udogie, they were missing Van de Ven, they were missing Romero. 2 of those are through getting suspended, so it is their own fault. Maddison wasn't playing.
Yep.
So like Højbjerg was in. Ben Davis, who, like, how the fuck's he still at Tottenham?
I know. Eric Dyer, fuck's it.
Eric Dyer, yeah. Who played Emerson Royale?
Aye.
Yeah, so like, I mean,
forgot he was even a thing.
He was a thing. What's that thing over there? Oh, that's Emerson Royale.
That's Spurs left, mate. Emerson Royale.
Yeah, to give him his full title. Does Richarlison count as being a missing, you know, like... That he was technically missing, but do they miss him? That's
nah.
And Manor Solomon, but he's been out for a while now as well. So yeah, it's not too surprising that when you make that many changes to a squad, you're not going to be up to scratch. But you still want a better performance than that.
They looked knackered. I think because it wasn't the first team, they're just no used to the intensity, like how you're supposed to play under Ange, and they looked fucked. Like the players couldn't keep up with it.
I mean, their goal, I do have to say, was a really nice goal.
Oh, the wee flick for
Kulusevski. But even before that, it was like a nice pass across field, and one of their midfielders was running to get it, and then kind of dummies it.
No, I think he decked it.
See, I've watched this. I rewatched this so many times
because I thought I was the same. I was like, "Oh, that's a superb." Because it looks like he's about to grab the ball.
But it's the way he turns after it that makes me think he hasn't fallen.
Yeah.
Because the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, he's just slipped. That's what's happened there." But I think he must have. In my head, he's got the shout, and he's done a wee sort of. I might be wrong. It very much depends who that was. Because if it was Højbjerg,
I think it was. So it wasn't.
He was good once upon a time. Yeah. Poor Højbjerg. But no, it was a very good goal for them. But I mean, Gary O'Neill's just doing a fantastic job at Wolves. Like the way they came back into that, they took control of the match. They created chances, and they deserved the win in the end. Cunha in their midfield. I think he was a player that. No, he wasn't. They actually got Nunes from Wolves. I was thinking that City might have been interested in him. So someone will be soon because he reminded me kind of Grealish at Villa because he's a ball carrying midfielder. He doesn't he can pass it about, but when he gets the ball, he wants to turn. He wants to run. Yeah. He wants to carry the ball from defence to attack, which is a very useful skill for teams at that sort of level. And he was just brilliant on Saturday. Yeah. He was just so good for them.
Their equaliser was an absolute peach goal. fucking Pablo Sarabia, who came for PSG.
I know.
That's how fucked it is, mate. Like,
do you know what's happened?
How are players gone for PSG to fucking Wolves?
Well, what's happened there is he spent the last season or maybe two on loan at Sporting Lisbon, and Wolves have just presumed he's Portuguese and signed him. That's what's happened there. It surprises me that he's there as well, because he wasn't just at PSG, he was a good player at PSG.
Aye.
And you could see that. I mean, the pass, the ball into him was incredible as well. It's not just his touch and finish, but it was like such a perfectly bent ball into a great time run, and that doesn't get spoken about enough. People often talk about, oh, it's a fantastic ball and all that, but see the timing to get a run exactly right so that you end up on the end of it. Yeah. It's a really good skill, and it's quite difficult to learn. But he did that perfectly, and the finish was just incredible.
What a prime Larson.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I'm sure plenty of English people would be annoyed. In fact, no, he's liked down there because of well, he's liked by Man U fans down there. Hwang, where does his miss go on the Willem scale?
Oh, it's when he put it that high, it was.
I know. There's the goalie's there, but there's no defender anywhere near him, and he hits it off target.
Aye, doesn't he scuffs it. But I'd say it's probably like a 4.5.
I don't think he can be that high because there is a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
but I just don't know how he doesn't hit the target.
Quite fast as well.
I don't know. I think you're being quite generous to him. I'd agree with the 4.5, but I think if you're trying to justify how he didn't hit the target, then you're being far too generous. Spurs did have a couple of attacks on the counter, but that's the exact opposite what you would expect from this football match.
Yep.
You would expect Spurs to have all the possession and then Wolves to be striking on the counter, and it just didn't pan out that way.
They had a couple of big chances. They had the breakaway.
Aye.
Well, it was Johnson took it first time.
Yeah.
And then
he's going to take time to get used to that style of play, though. He's still a new player.
No, but I think if he just takes one more touch, he's 1-on-1 with the keeper. He tries to dink it at the keeper.
It's probably just desperation in his head and adrenaline and all that kind of stuff.
He was fucked as well. And then Lo Celso had a shot for the edge of the box that was saved. Comfortably, quite comfortably, but
but it's Lo Celso, mate, so I'm not surprised. Gary O'Neill is a better manager than I thought he was. We both laughed when Lopetegui left and they brought him in.
I know.
We do. Why would you do that? You know, but he's done a hell of a job. It started off shaky, and we both predicted them to go down, and they actually look like a decent football team now. They're not going to be troubling the top half, I don't think, but they should be comfortable, and not just because the three promoted teams are probably going to go down. They're probably good enough that even if they were a little bit better, they wouldn't be involved in that.
The big thing is when relegation battles is your home form. If they're winning home games, then they'll be fucking fine. Especially if they're beating Man City and Spurs.
Aye, because not only is it 3 points, but it's such a confidence boost if you're in that position. Okay, we can prove we can beat them, so if Luton comes to town, we should be able to fucking beat them. Doesn't always work out that way, obviously. Sorry, Luton. Sorry, Luton, but I mean, you lost to Man U. You're clearly shy. Bonus points. Oh yeah, I wrote this. Bonus points to Pablo Sarabia, who admittedly in his second or third language forgot the word atmosphere on the Match of the Day interview and complimented the ambience of the Molyneux.
I've never heard the word ambience mentioned in the same breath as a football stadium.
Especially one in Wolverhampton. Imagine, sorry for the drive-by, Jamie, but imagine Jamie saying ambience.
Ambience.
He did the impression, not me, so be angry at him. Oh, right, okay. That was fantastic. And the rest of these are just mostly in the order of Match of the Day, put them in, so I hope that's alright with you. Crystal Palace versus Everton.
Fucking great game, by the way.
It was, yeah.
Surprisingly.
What I noticed about this game is it was very much like you attack, then we attack. The way it kind of set up is, so Palace are happy to defend, striking the counter. So when they were drawn, Palace would just be like, it's fine, I'm not that arsed.
Yeah.
And Everton would just be going for them. As soon as Everton took the lead, they're like, right, we've got the lead. we're not going to attack anymore. And then Palace were like, oh, we need a goal. So then it was just like they swapped what they were doing.
Palace have got some class players. Like Eze looked amazing.
Yeah, he was incredible. He's a bit older than I thought. I thought he was like a young up and cut. He's 25, so he's still, not in his prime, but he looked really, really good. Jack Harrison looks like a good signing for Everton as well.
Yeah.
What was the goal? Their first goal? It was Mikolenko.
Yeah.
His cross was just really, really, really smart. He looked good at Leeds. Scored a few goals, got a few assists. My main issue with him is that he looks like a sort of generic footballer. Like
when you like make a character on a computer, generic one haircut,
or like a character from Dream Team, like something like that.
Dream Team. I've not heard anybody mention Dream Team since 2004.
It's younger viewers who weren't alive during the 90s. Dream Team used to be is it Sky One?
Sky One, aye.
Sky One soap opera about a football team.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah. They used to use, they would, because like, what was the name of the team? Harchester United.
Yeah.
And they had purple kits, and they would use actual footage of games. But they would always use like a team that had a blue top and like badly edit it, so like it always looked pure like grainy and washed, and then make their tops purple, and then it would cut to like 4 guys in a clearly empty stadium. It's going like
CGI wasn't all that back then.
It was excellent.
It was excellent, but shite at the same time. Imagine have like less intelligent writers than Brookside. Why am I brought up Brookside? I've just alienated even more people.
Oh man!
Like he looks, he's like so generic. He looks like an alien that's trying to blend in on Earth, but he's the only media he's consumed is like the only way is Essex. Like that's a proper either that or he just goes to the same barber as Pickford. I don't know, but he's a good footballer.
Yeah, it's a good footballer.
So Eze, the run to win the penalty, he just looked untouchable at that point in time. Obviously, there was another penalty incident we need to talk about, but I reckon he'll get attention from bigger teams quite soon.
Yeah.
Because he's English as well, so like for European competitions, he meets like the homegrown quota for them. So like, I don't think he'd ever be a first team player at a top 6 team. But
a lot of players don't want to move for Palace. Like Zaha was getting like everybody was after Zaha for ages.
To be fair, he did want to go a couple of times, but Palace were like, we're not getting enough money, so no, you're not going.
Because like you're in London. The wages will be fucking class.
Aye.
Like, what more do you want?
That it is true, but you might like to win the odd game. I mean, they do
win the odd game here and there.
They do win some games, and they had a couple of like decent seasons, like Vieira's first season and the tail end last year when Roy took over. Roy. But you might just enjoy winning a bit more if you go to like. I suppose you're not going to play as much if you go to a different team, but I think there's a few teams that could use him as like a squad player, or even just a slightly higher up, like a Brighton or something like that.
Yeah.
But Brighton are never going to be able to afford someone like him, especially since he's just signed a 5-year contract with them. So he seems happy enough.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the dive?
I think it's a penalty. I think it's, but like it's like you were saying with the Haaland one, like it wasn't as obvious a penalty as that, but like whatever the decision on the field was going to be the decision. I don't think VAR would overturn that if the penalty was given, or he might even ask him to look at the monitor, but I don't think he'd book him for diving.
No, I don't think,
because there is contact.
I think he's looking for it. I don't think it's a dive. I do think there is contact, but I'd be raging if that was given against me, genuinely. Like the contact is so minimal. He's kind of left his leg there looking for it.
The old Ashley Young.
Yeah, like I can see why Roy would say like, okay, if it might not be a penalty, but booking him's wrong because he wouldn't dive in that situation. Maybe that's fair enough. But VAR can't get involved with that because they can't look at setting yellow cards. So
yeah. So fuck you, VAR.
Once again, another team fucked over by that stupid rule. But I don't think it didn't really matter anyway. It's not like he was going to get sent off. He's a forward. Everton's second goal was a very good strike from Mikalenko in the first place. But I don't know what Palace's defenders were doing.
Aye, just all watching.
Aye, that's a hell of a shot.
Somebody should do something about that.
You can see Tokore's just standing there like,
is this happening?
no one did it. That was quite a common theme from the game. Actually, really shit defending. It's the first of the first 3 games we've spoke about shite defending twice now. But just absolutely left completely alone to just stand there and put it into an empty net.
And then the other end, the exact same thing happens.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. The really bad thing about maybe I'm jumping ahead to no, it was Edwards. Yeah. Tarkowski, for some reason, just leaving.
He just left it.
And of all the defenders, you would think, Branthwaite would maybe make that mistake or something like that, but not Tarkowski. Like, he's usually reliable, solid. He's got so much experience in the Premier League now. So, unless, and it doesn't look like it, Pickford's made the shout of keepers. What's he doing? Just plant your head on it, because you can't take that chance. How are you that unaware of your surroundings when you've been a Premier League player that long? I mean, don't get me wrong, Edwards' touch and finish was quite smart, but if you put him in that position, he's going to be able to do that. It's just so surprising from Tarkowski.
Do you think Edwards just a miserable bastard?
Yeah.
He isn't he? Like,
he was up here.
Even when he scored, he was like, he just can't be fucked.
The happiest I ever saw him was when he did the Christmas advert for Celtic. And that's because he was wearing a t-shirt that said, "I want to be Edward" on it, I think. So he was just happy that he had his own merch.
Maybe somebody should have told him before the game it's only like 5 weeks to Christmas. Oh fuck, smile for once, you dick.
The idea that he's just a massive Christmas fan.
That's it. I think he loves the Christmas.
That's fucking amazing. I do want to talk about Jonathan Pearce.
This isn't the first time. Have you got something? Have you got an axe to grind?
No, I'm getting one now, man. Like, so, because he's like the English football commentary equivalent of Alex Jones. Like, what he said. This was about the offside. Obviously it wasn't offside, but the length of time it took for the decision. So this is a direct quote here, ladies and gentlemen. We're sending spaceships to the outer colonies of the universe, if such things exist. And yet, how long does it take to get 2 lines drawn on a football pitch? I've got a couple of issues with this here, Jonathan. First of all, we're not sending spaceships anywhere.
I know, we've not.
We sent the odd rocket and shuttle up to the space station, but that's really about it.
A few probes.
Certainly, we have sent satellites to the outer reaches of our solar system, not the universe, and they've only just left. So, you know.
No, there's one of the probes, this is a football podcast, but one of the probes, Voyager 1, that's left the solar system.
Aye, it has.
It's in deep space, mate.
But only just.
So I agree with Jonathan. Do you know what? Fuck it.
No, thirdly, what fucking colonies are there on other planets?
True, that is the main issue.
I knew the British Empire was out of hand, but I didn't realise it was that bad.
I like how when he's saying it, he's like, we're sending spaceships to the outer colonies in the universe, and then if such things exist,
it's like he realised what he was saying.
I'm starting to get the Alex Jones comparison. He's like, there's gay alien frogs out there, and we can't draw lines in a pitch.
Mate, it was just a ludicrous thing to say, especially because the rest of the BBC commentators are like so tempered and like don't get overexcited by anything, and then there's just this guy like telling us they're putting chemicals in the water. Turn the freaking frogs. But anyway, Jonathan, none of that's no real, you know, all of it. Maybe he just saw Star Wars at the start, you know, it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and he was like, that's a documentary. Also,
he's simplifying the drawing of the lines on the pitch a bit too much, like as if it's you just draw lines on a pitch. Like, there's a lot of technology and work, isn't it?
He was like, I can tell from here it's onside, and it's like, well, mate, obviously you can't. You're seeing it from a very specific camera.
Do you know what? Scrap VAR. Just get you in.
Just get Jonathan on. Oh, please don't commentate in every football match. Just go back to robots. I liked you then. So basically it was a good third goal from Everton. They'll be happy with the win, but both teams need to sort their defence out.
Who scored the third goal?
Who was it again? I just said it was a good goal. I remember it being a good goal, but that was about it. I can't remember who scored it.
Idrissa Ganagay.
Yes, it was. Because the passing play before it was really nice. But again, really shoddy defending. So both teams need to sort their defences out. Yep. And Jonathan Pearce needs to sort his life out. Bournemouth Newcastle.
Fuck off.
Not so smug this week, are you dick?
Howling, man. There's so many injuries.
Yeah.
So many injuries. Like, the boy that started in midfield, he was lost.
Smiley, what was his name?
Oh.
It's not Carol Smiley's son, it was something. Miley, something like that.
Aye. Miley,
there you go.
He did wear the number 67, which was kind of cool. Like this boy, but
like this boy.
Nah, he looked lost.
I do have a list of I'm sure I had a list of all the Newcastle players that are
sent to me all day.
Let's see if I've still got it. It'd be fucking stupid of me if I got rid of it before the podcast. Let's see. Because there's here we go. Current Newcastle absentees. Callum Wilson, hamstring injury. Javi Manquillo, didn't know he still played for you. Groin injury. Guimarães suspended. Isaac, groin injuries. Finn Botman, knee injury. Elliot Anderson, back injury. Dan Burn, back injury. Jacob Murphy, shoulder. Harvey Barnes, foot. Matt Targett, hamstring. And Sandro Tonali is suspended for, gambling. So that's quite a shit ton of players, to be honest with you. And it doesn't matter, we spoke about this in the past, about Newcastle's problem will be not having the depth that other clubs have, because they just haven't been rich enough for long enough to be able to go out and buy enough players to have a strong bench. But I think even if you do have players of roughly the same quality on your bench, when you've got that many changes to a squad, it's still going to have a big impact. It doesn't matter how good they are.
Yeah.
Because you're changing personnel. These guys aren't getting a lot of football, so they haven't had time to adapt to the way you play. They're maybe not 100% match fit. And you know, team chemistry. It's like that on Ultimate Team. You want them all to be sort of playing together.
Aye.
And just simple swapping out of key players can make a huge difference. Especially people like Bruno, who are so important to how Newcastle play. But I don't think that justified the level of performance that Newcastle put in.
I think I mentioned Scottish grannies earlier. Livramento's got a Scottish maw.
Right.
His maw's called Caroline for Springburn.
She's for Springburn?
I don't know if she's for Springburn, but when I read the name Caroline, I jumped.
Livramento.
Big Caroline Livramento.
Oh, she's fucking mental, mate.
Aye. Went on holiday Portugal 1 year, just stayed there.
So, Steve Clark, phone him up, please.
Phone him, man. That's what we need, another fullback. That's all we've got.
Well, he's a right back though.
Aye.
Patterson's good. He's alright, but I'd rather have Livramento.
Yeah, big time.
So what do I say? Yeah, it was quite a sloppy start. I mean, it continued being sloppy from Newcastle, but Semenyo made a run early on for Bournemouth, and it just even as a neutral was sitting there, fucking somebody tackle him, because he just ran right through the middle. Yeah. I just remember going, what?
Mate, Pope made 4 or 5 excellent saves. That tells you the story.
Aye, 100%.
They still lost 2-0.
Yeah. I thought he did start really well, but one of the goals I did think, how can you have that kind of performance before that and not save that one? He'd be disappointed as much as anyone that he couldn't keep it out because he got a touch on it. But yeah, Bournemouth created lots of chances. Newcastle just couldn't get a hold of the ball and couldn't get a hold of any of their players really either.
Midfield, just lost the battle midfield.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
But again, if you've gone from having Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimarães in there to, it doesn't matter who you're replacing them with.
Bruno Guimarães is good.
Carol Smiley and...
Carol Smiley.
I've now made that's who it is in my head. It's Carol Smiley that's played centre. I mean, this is a very 90s podcast so far. From Dream Team Brookside and Carol Smiley.
Anybody like Bullseye? The thingy, Almiron went off after half an hour as well. I'm guessing he's injured.
I don't know. I hope that's not bad. It's just he's got one of those wee smiley faces that you just don't want to see him sad.
Nah,
you'd be like seeing a puppy with a hurt foot or something like that, man. But no, it's a lot of changes. I think hopefully this has come at a good time, the international break.
Big time.
So the team can rest up. You also got to bear in mind, the team shoes have played in the past few weeks. Like, and the travelling you've been doing, which you're not used to because you haven't had that before.
The Arsenal game was intense. Yeah. Dortmund away.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's kind of understandable that the players who aren't injured might be a bit knackered. Although I did think some of the passing from Trippier again was just outstanding. Like, he's just a standard bearer in that team. So again, a fantastic performance from him. So a lot of tough games. It's not that surprising that you had a bit of a slump, but again, you got the international break now. Most of your players won't be going on it, so it's time to recover and sort of get your heads on straight again. Who I was trying to think. I think I made a note of who your next few games are. It's not going to get any easier because I think your next two are Chelsea and PSG. Welcome to the Champions League.
This is the Champions League, isn't
it? But after that, you've got Man United, so you're all right.
Aye, cushy.
Be piece of piss that. Although that's all you need really, because if Newcastle United players can't get up for a Man U game, then
I do.
The last time you played them, you beat them 3-0 as well, so you'll be in good spirits.
I'm saying it now. I'll go battle them. I'm saying it.
Right, mate, we'll clip that up for when Man United fluke a 1-0 or something like that.
Sandro Tonali, get your money on it, mate.
It'll be McTominay with a last minute winner for United and it'll break
goal
your
machine.
Heart. Yeah. Solanke's second I thought was quite a nice wee improvised finish, the flick. But again, you've got to say, why would none of the defenders try to stop that? Nobody tried to put their body in the line. No one tried to close the ball down.
What's the fear of getting injured, man?
I suppose. But this is why at the end of the game, obviously, Trippier's is talking to the fans and he's trying to explain, look how many players we've got out and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple of, I'm kind of torn on this because Newcastle fans, they've had it really good. Like, the team's been playing well. The results are going their way, and most of the players have been like actually doing a good job. But so they haven't had too much to complain about, and obviously they reacted negatively at the end of this. But I think that was partly because of it didn't look like Newcastle players were really wanting to fix what was going wrong. They weren't trying their hardest and all that kind of stuff. And when you're a Newcastle fans give more for their team than almost any other like fan base. They travel in huge numbers, and down to Bournemouth from Newcastle. Like they always get behind the team, they shout, they create an amazing atmosphere. So all they want to see back is their team, their players giving the same, giving their all, and they didn't get that on Saturday, and I think that's why they were a bit pissed off.
They create an excellent ambience.
Yeah. I was wondering why you were doing that.
I was doing that.
They create an excellent ambience. The ambience of Newcastle.
The ambience of St James's Park.
Oh Jesus! But not the best weekend for you. But I mean, you're still smug about last weekend, so it doesn't really matter.
It's gusty.
And speaking of, we'll move on to my team now, Arsenal Burnley.
Yep.
It was a really dull start to this fucking game, man. 20. I think there was nearly an own goal 26 minutes out of this game.
Yep.
Where
the header.
The header that Trafford has to palm off the line, but it got stopped because Saka had pushed the defender. But I thought you were allowed to push people in penalty areas now. That might be just me being wrong.
The Trossard get injured when he scored his goal. Like the cheer, everybody went, yes, oh fuck, is he alright? Like the cheer died instantly.
He rattled off that post, man. Like, he's quite a wee guy as well, so I was surprised he was able to keep going. When his arm was kind of in that position, I was like, is he dislocated his shoulder or something? But he was fine. And that's another goal for him. I think we were saying not too long ago he had something like 8 goals in 10 starts or 10 games this season or something like that.
In most of the games he comes on with 20 minutes to go.
Aye, and in this game he's scored one and basically set up the other 2. So, I mean, fair play to him. He's not a top level player, but what he is a very good squad player.
Yeah.
Like, he'll bring you on, he'll get you a goal, he'll get you an assist.
If you get an injury.
Aye, he's a very able deputy, and he can just take the pressure off of Saka and Martinelli, because he's not as quick as Martinelli and he's not as skillful as Saka, but he just gets you goals, and that's all you want from a player like that. So he's been a really good signing, especially bearing in mind like the other person that we were going for at that time was Mudryk. So
where we won now.
Half the price and way more goals. I'm very happy with him. I want to say that Trafford looked like quite a decent goalie.
Yep.
I know he conceded 3 goals in this, but he made a couple of really smart saves, and he looks like there's a lot of potential there. He's only 21 as well, which for a goalkeeper is...
So he's like the opposite of Man United Stadium. He's young Trafford. Welcome, mate. Welcome to hell.
I thought
it was been 45 minutes, mate, and we're here. That's it.
I thought it was going to be an Onana joke, but yeah.
Oh, no, mate.
No, New Trafford, yeah. I mean, they do need a New Trafford because it's a state right now. But
pishing, water fishing for the ceiling.
Exactly.
It's mental. Imagine that was your season ticket, you'd be kicking it off.
I know, I would be.
Paying like $2,000 for a season ticket, just getting waterboarded and watching shite football, getting tortured in 2 ways.
Especially when you think, like, I went to Partick Thistle last season, and obviously it being Scotland, it was raining. There was no leaking.
No leakage.
No leakage at all. That's Partick Thistle. I mean, there was also nobody doing coke in the bathrooms or having a cigarette, so it was very strange, but it was a lovely experience. It's just not the football I'm used to. But right, okay, back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
So we spoke about Trossard. Burnley's goal, Tommy Yasu has to do better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just self-destruct mode, what he did there. He should be putting that out for a corner. Like, absolutely. Instead of getting the ball taken off him.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the top teams, they overplay a wee bit too much.
Yeah. And
they'll get away with it most of the time, but like now and again, you're going to get punished.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
Ben White, possibly in that situation, could, get out of it because he's bigger, he's stronger, and he's probably a better passer of the ball. But again, like Tommy Yasu is a squad player, he's not the starting right back. So,
yeah.
But still, it's Burnley, you shouldn't be getting robbed in that position. Saliba's goal, a similar thing to say to Thiago Silva's.
Yep.
Because he just runs free.
Yeah.
And he's right in front of the goalie and nobody's marking him. It almost looked like how high he rose. It was almost like that thing they do in rugby.
Had a line out where they yeet somebody up there.
That thing they do in rugby. How clueless I am. I also realised I did the gesture before I said the words, so it was just like, that
thing they do in rugby.
But no, he just rose so high, and it was such an easy header because no one was near him. And yeah, I know, like, the odds are that he might win the aerial battle anyway, but you've got to at least make him work for it. And he would be the only person really, other than Gabriel, that as a defender at Burnley, I'd be like, I need to keep an eye on him because the rest of Arsenal's team are so small.
Do you think Burnley are in danger of beating Derby County's record?
It would be a shame for them because I think they're a much better team than that Derby County team. But maybe.
Aye.
Maybe. Them and Sheffield United.
They're just getting turned over every week, man.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I was thinking about this. It's not like they're easy to play against because they do play some good stuff and they do score goals. It's that they're easy to attack against. Like,
on the ball they're good, but off the ball they're
just dreadful. Like, genuinely. Arsenal are very good at set pieces this season. Like they said in Match of the Day, they are the most successful team in the Premier League when it comes to set pieces this season.
It's not something you would associate with Arsenal.
No, not at all. Because it's usually all about how they play. So that's just another. It's something that they've clearly been working on, and if that's another tool they can use, then that's really impressive. That's a really good thing because set pieces are really, really important. And it's not been something they've been good at. But again, you think Burnley defending set pieces, obviously it's a new Burnley, they play completely differently. You think that's still the sort of bedrock of what they do? Put the big guys on their big guys because you aren't going to be too worried about Saka will stay on the edge of the box anyway, but something like that, you'd mark the big tall centre backs and they just didn't do it. But yeah, it's completely symptomatic of their season. Play good going forward and then just total naive.
Soft goals.
Yeah, and they overcommit going forward as well. Yeah. Because they back themselves to score every time they do. And it's like, that's not going to happen against teams of this quality. So I kind of hope they don't beat Derby's record because I do think they're a better team than Derby. but at the same time, I also don't really care. So.
I still hate Burnley.
I know. Right, what else is it to talk about? Zinchenko's volley. Di Canio-esque.
Mate, I missed it. Like, I'd eaten 2 steak bakes and I fell asleep.
Well, both feet are off the ground. I didn't mean like it was racist and fascist. I mean like...
Is it a scissor kick? I'm gutted.
It was like both feet off the ground. It was quite high up and he goes like that and he bangs it with his leg. With
Did you? I thought you'd injured yourself.
No.
You grabbed your leg. He does this. Oh, fuck.
But it goes at the top corner and I was going to ask you if you thought he meant it or not, because I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if he's obviously meant to connect with it, and I think he's just trying to hit it as best he can. I don't think he's meant to sort of perfectly swerve it into the top corner in the way he has with both feet off the ground. But he is a good player, so I don't know for sure.
I am thinking, I'm gutted. Like, I thought it would have been just like a normal goal.
No.
Because like when I woke up, it was the next game, and I was like, oh, Pedro will cover that anyway. Like, it'll probably be like nothing else happened. There's a red card and a fucking scissor kick.
It was like both, like, it was so weird to watch. It was like he hung in air as he did it. He does look like a wee boy though, Zinchenko. I don't think he's aged since he was about 13.
Yeah.
The red card.
Maybe the radiation. Yes, you agree. It's on the radiation.
I watched Chernobyl and it made a lot of those people age quite quickly.
Oh, aye, so it did. So radiation.
It's good. Things at least are nice and calm there now.
Aye.
The red card I've got no issues with. He's not meant to hit him, but his studs were up. He's caught him on like there on the leg, and it's
was it like a referee giving red card?
Yeah. It was a referee, and it was the right call because it is dangerous. He hasn't meant to hurt him, but it was a bit risky. So it's a red card. It wasn't a vintage performance from Arsenal, but they never really got out of second gear, and they took all 3 points. So
that's all you need again. Game against Burnley.
Now on to our favourite subject, United Luton. Maguire pinging 50-yard balls again. Still concussed. Just
pure papering over the cracks, man. Like every week.
Yeah, it's mad. I thought they didn't play well, but they had more of the ball and had more chances. But there was,
of course, yeah, they were playing against Luton at home.
But it's not always been the case for them this season.
I know.
And the thing that was really evident they were missing was like a number 9, like a proper target centre forward or striker that they could get the ball to. You know, someone who can link up the play but also head it in, or is a really good finisher. You know, someone like who would have been available this summer. You know, that maybe went to Bayern Munich instead.
Scored like 16 goals in 10 games.
Why didn't you say that?
I know.
Oh my God, man. It's him and that team, they'd be in a very different position right now. But then that might just be papering over the cracks in the rest of the team even more.
Yeah,
but
he probably wouldn't have scored as many in that Man U team that
than he is in Germany. No, almost certainly not. Garnacho looked good again.
Aye, like wee flashes.
But he's still very young. You've got to bear that in mind. And he's playing in a shite team. So anytime he just looks, he's unbelievably quick. Yeah, is what he is. He's rapid. He's got some good skills. I mean, he did pass up a golden opportunity to score later on by dawdling on the ball, but bear in mind how young he is and the wee moments of brilliance we're seeing from him. I reckon he's going to be some player. If he can get a manager that knows how to nurture him and get the best out of him.
Rashford missed an easy chance.
Yeah, it was one of those where you're looking at it and going, if you're in form, that's a goal.
Aye.
It's simple as that. But he just looks at, up until the final moment, he looks all right. Like he'll do a wee bit of skill, a wee bit of something to create space.
Dribble past somebody.
Just can't score it. And yet he's an England team and Sterling isn't. Blows my mind. I don't care if you do shite. I don't know why I'm annoyed, but poor Sterling's done nothing wrong. This season he's getting no respect from Gareth Southgate. It's almost like Gareth Southgate doesn't really know what he's doing. The fact that United are lacking a goal scorer is ultimately shown by who scored their goal. Victor Lindelof.
McTominay's still the top scorer.
But Lindelof, how is he still there?
I know. Mate, how's Martial still there? He came off the bench. I'm like, fuck have you been?
We're saying that Evans is back, so we shouldn't be too surprised.
Mate,
but
so wild.
Lindelof, man. Like,
won't be surprised if fucking wheel out Dennis up. Oh, 90s reference.
You might need to wheel him out these days to be
90s reference, fuck it.
Yeah, by the way, if you don't know Dennis Urban Kids, he was an incredibly underrated footballer.
Mate, he was like one of the most prolific left backs in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he used to score on as penalties, free kicks.
But anytime people talk about the greatest Premier League left backs, it's always just Ashley Cole or like Patrice Evra, and Dennis Urban's just brilliant. He was very, very good. I'd probably still go Cole, but he's a brilliant player. We'll look up Dennis Urban. He scored quite a few goals, didn't he, as well? He took free kicks and penalties and that, didn't he?
I'd take Evra. I just don't like Ashley Cole as a person.
Oh, no, near that.
I would walk past James Gordon to punch him in the face.
You'd struggle to walk past James Gordon.
I would walk round James Gordon.
There you go. I just go on a wee walk around James Gordon.
I'd be knackered by the time I got to him. Oh, so he would kick my cunt in.
Don't body shame.
Me body shame.
No, I know I'm saying that. I thought you said on the VAR.
I thought you said don't body shame me. I was like, I never body shame anybody.
No. So United fans have been making a big deal about how they're technically the most informed team in the league. They're only 3 points off the top four.
Scraping 1-0s.
Yeah, so this is a list of the teams they've beaten recently. Brentford, Fulham, Sheffield United and Luton.
Yep. And like struggled in all of them.
Yeah, scraped by. And the only time they played a mildly competent team, they played Man City and got thumped by them. So let's
and then had
just
birthday parties that night.
Simmer. birthday, yeah. Sorry, I misheard that. That will only make sense to Glaswegian people listening, but I misheard that. And they've got you coming up as well. So, I will say, obviously, you can only beat what's in front of you. So, well done winning, but you only just scraped Luton 1-0 at home. So, simmer the fuck down.
Anytime they play somebody in the top half of the table, will either get beat or draw.
Aye, we just quickly do a couple of words on West Ham, Forest, and then I don't care about the other ones.
Liverpool? Yep.
Oh, Liverpool, also Villa. Villa looked really good. We did say that they would come back and win against
Villa at home will beat most teams, I think.
Yeah, and John McGinn's goal was superb. The wee drop of the shoulder and then the finish. Liverpool, do you want to talk, or do you want to rattle through
Salah, just to mention Salah again.
2 goals. 200 in the Premier League, or is it 200 in English football?
200 and 198 of them for Liverpool.
Yeah. Just ridiculous.
But see when he gets the ball in that position, like for his first goal, where he's coming in, cutting in onto his left foot, he scores 99% of the time. It's just that you wouldn't want anybody else in that position.
No.
Remember they were getting offered stupid money. I don't think you can put a price on him.
No, I don't think so.
Too much to that team,
but he will go. I think he's made his mind up that he wants to go. So I think he will. Juan de Caro also channeling his inner Pippo Inzaghi in this game by spending it entirely offside.
Another 90s reference.
I just realised that as well, actually. Yeah.
Thankfully, Bo Inzaghi, he was marginally offside. One element, it was his big toe.
The overhead finish was really nice from him, though. So
It was, but it was one of the most awkward overheaders I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because he's so tall.
Gangly, yeah.
It was like trying to fold a big massive bit of paper.
To be fair, Andy Carroll it wasn't Andy Carroll. Peter Crouch had a knack of, scoring overhead goals, falling backwards and the ball hit off his foot. It's probably a more accurate way of putting it. Okay, we'll just do a quick...
Endo should have got a red card in it, but never.
I don't think that was a red.
Oh, mate. Smashed him. Studs first into the knee.
It wasn't Studs first. He got the ball, and 2 they both slid into each other. I'm not having that as a red, mate.
What was it? I seen a clip when it was about somebody getting interviewed and they're talking about VAR, and they were saying when you use these stills, you can make a peck look like a porno.
Yeah, peck the cheek like that porno. You get him on the pod.
He's a legend. Legend.
Ward-Prowse, 2 assists in the West Ham game as well, from corners, just ridiculous. Jared Bowen implied that he might be the best that there ever was, so free kicks, or the best there's going to be from now on, Maybe not the best. I'm not sure about that. He said he was the best in the world right now, and he's up there. But let's not get carried away. I've realised that we did a trivia question 2 weeks ago or 2 pods ago and didn't answer it, and I don't have the answers on me. So look forward to that next episode, which will be in probably 2 weeks because we've got the international break. So yeah, we might try and get a wee guest on for that one. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week. So goodbye from Patrick.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from me. Stay fresh, cheese bags.